not an actual person.
He's a bot.
He's a pun bot.
It's a pun bot.
Yeah. He's one of the Critty bots. Yeah, he's a creation of Liz. She
No
just
human
the whole
can
time.
come up with puns.
I would
that
never.
fast,
I
like
know,
that kid,
and that
or
like
guy or girl or robot.
that often too.
Yeah.
It's like
Hi, everybody.
20 a session.
Hello.
Hey, y'all.
Mhm.
Well, you rolled a 1.
Hey, Thorium
That's
Dragon.
my line.
I don't even know if he's on yet.
No, I don't think
Hey,
so.
my line.
We've got Thorium Dragon in chat, and that's it. I was gonna say, and somebody else, but it's just you, Roy. So.
Just me.
Look, Rumple Way. Who's that?
Oh, LaGrumple Way. Hey, hello. That's our friends at Could Have Been Heroes Pod, who you should see.
There
I
you go.
have a little card down there that's going to show them.
Oh.
So, welcome everybody. We are right on the cusp of being
We
all
jinxed ourselves.
of the NAT30s. This is our continuation of the Bums of Greenest campaign. And we have a new layout overlay, which hopefully it looks cleaner. Oh, there you are, right there, right below there. So we are.
We need to make a cardboard cutout of Rachel and then just stick it in Rachel's box, and then she's there. She's here. Like, she'll be there in spirit. Because we play as her. She doesn't move.
Yep.
She doesn't talk much. So it'll just look like she's like right there.
I mean, he does have a point here.
Yeah, no, but the wittiness is missing. So
It's true.
yeah.
And the
The one,
tits.
the one. Did you say the tits?
Yeah, I did sneak that in.
I was gonna
It's
say
human.
that, but I wasn't sure if I could get away with it, so I'm glad you said it.
Somebody had to.
Yes,
Indeed.
appreciate that.
So
She would have said
yeah, she would have said it. All right, we can get through our announcements. We are probably starting. Is it already going to be next weekend? I think it's starting next Saturday. We are going to get started with our stream closer to 9:30, so that the Compound, who is our partner, can raid us consistently every Saturday and come in with their people who some of them enjoy watching our show, but end up getting coming in, when we're 15 minutes in. So we're gonna, stall for time, chat with you all a little bit before getting started. So
You
tonight,
should have heard the conversation on melanated boobs and goblin boobs right before we came on.
yes, well, we can always talk about it after. So we are going to get started with the announcements, which means Annie, take it away.
yes, and I'm gonna just speak in my southern accent because I feel like it's been a while. So I'm gonna take it straight through, I do love playing my other character though. I gotta hype Eli because he's awesome. But anyways, that's our other show. So I'm here to tell you that we are part of the Compound Network, who's going to become raiding us any moment now, which is a group of collaborative South Coast Massachusetts creatives, including 3D printers, mini painters, and gamers like us, working together to boost each other's art and creations. And I just spam them there in the chat. So some of our partners in the Compound Network are the Brush Republic, Fusion Forge 3D Printing, Varel 3D Prints, Counterclockwise, and Tabletop Games. Speaking of tabletop games,
Speaking of tabletop
Speaking of
games, tabletop games, we got a little something that we do called Word of the Week. The Word of the Week this week was wild, and you have foliage, not foliage.
Yes,
Because
very
Cuba
important.
Because Cuba doesn't know how to read.
It's not a read. I just cannot pronounce that word. I can't read either, but it wasn't because I couldn't read.
If you go to
Yeah, I
any
say it
of
like
our-
the Three Stooges. Foliage.
foliage, certainly. If you go to any of our 3 affiliated stores, the Armory in Fairhaven, Tabletop Games in Westport, and Twilight Comics in New Bedford, all local to Southern Mass. You go to the front desk, they'll have a little can there with our faces on it. You pop in the Word of the Week, foliage, F-O-I-L, foliage. It has to be spelled correctly, right? Right? No credit. Pop it in, you'll get entered into a drawing for the possibility to win a $10 gift card. We encourage you guys to go to all three if possible. They're really cool. That's really awesome that they've given us a chance to, promote like this all with each other. It's pretty sweet. So yeah, it's the Armory in Fairhaven, Tabletop Games in Westport, and Twilight Comics in New Bedford. But if you'd like to, in a more direct way, support what we do, Pat will tell you what we got going on with the Patreon.
Yes, we now have a Patreon. We now actually have a third tier to our Patreon.
Oh, just added tonight.
Just added just a few hours ago. So in the third tier, the new tier, you'll still get all of the various access to behind the scenes prep notes, DM prep notes, lore, character backstories, character sheets, a bunch of other homebrew items, some special goodies, early access to our VODs. But we just recently added the new third tier. It's a $5 a month tier. And what that will do is in the during the stream, when we have the changing backgrounds, you'll actually have your own spot to get a actual shout out in the middle of the stream to go on through the cycling things. I can't see because it's too small what that one is right now, but you too can be on our stream. Right now I believe there's only a limit of 5 slots. Is that correct, Izzy?
Yep.
So 5. That's all we have right now. So if you'd like to help support our stream, please do so. And I'd also like to give a shout out to our latest Patreon subscriber, and that is Almost Critical.
Nice.
And if you don't want to just join our Patreon, if you want to support the stream in other ways, we can give it to... Oh, this is so much easier now. I'm gonna hand it up.
Oh, I'll just reach down and go.
Yeah, just reach open,
This is so much easier. I don't have to know my left from my right.
Yeah, it's now we can accurately do the Brady Bunch.
The Brady Bunch, the eye contact.
Annie's gonna have to hand it to me. I'll have to hand something over to Lauren. Lauren will hand it down to Q and Q to Pat. Oh, that'll be cool. We'll have to toss the rock back, and you know what I mean?
So another way you can support us via Twitch or Patreon is also the TeePublic shop that we have up, which finally, after weeks of saying I was going to do it and not doing it, I have added not just 1, nor 2, nor 3, but 6. Right? Yeah, 6 new designs up there in the TeePublic shop. I did it like 2 days ago. I lost track. By popular vote, the Super Zan shirt is up officially in the shop there, as is the shield logo for Wicked Independent Prestige Incorporated. There is a alternate Brew Bottle Tavern shirt, which is like literally like a wooden hanging tavern sign. There's this Brew Bottle shirt that I am currently modeling, all back up, but with the Baldur's Gate removed, and it just says Dock District, so there is no more worries about copyright infringement. We got a roll a saving throw up because I wanted to I drew that as a little fun joke from our friend Roy over there, just disappearing and then coming back like, yeah, I just went through up. And then having to have to roll a save. So
just like, hey, guess what?
I threw that up in there. Oh, see what I did there? I'm good at puns too. And we now have a melanated tits and arrows for everybody's enjoyment. Those everything is on sale to it looks like 5.5 hours for most of the stuff that's already in there. Those 6 new designs will be on sale for another day. So get them while they're hot.
All right, and several.
Sorry. Literally, we were talking about throwing up, and it was just.
Well.
Well,
Wow.
well.
Bless my stars.
So speaking of, I don't know, whatever we were talking about. We also have several giveaways that are going on. So, oh shit, I gotta start that one. So tonight we are doing a giveaway for our sponsor, Bea D&D, BEADND. And I'm going to start the giveaway. It is for a t-shirt, really, of your choice of the design. So I'm going to open this up, and you're going to see they have like a Dragon Eye t-shirt, a piano mimic, and the rabbit horn. I think there might be others up on their website right now, but they are doing a revamp. But type hashtag BEADND to win potentially a t-shirt from Bea D&D. Hey, Macarena Taco. Hello, nice to see you again. So they have sponsored us for the entire month of March and given away a t-shirt every single time we have streamed an actual game session. So we appreciate them so much for that. They're out of
It's gonna be sad because this is gonna be the final weekend of March.
Yes, this is the final Bums one as far as I know, and then on Tuesday we have one more. So they are out of New Zealand, and there are some pictures of people who've gotten their stuff already. I don't know if it's in our Discord, but Table Troops DM got his, and the Role Players Guild, they got theirs as well. So we've had quite a few people getting their shirts, and somebody has won every day that we've played a game. So you should go check out their website. They are kind of like launching it, and check out their Instagram. They've got really cool homebrew items and all that fun stuff. Let's see. Random fact from La Grumple Way about Celine Dion's song, all coming back to me now. Couldn't get past the Macarena. I mean, who can get past the Macarena?
Macarena was a dirty song. Nobody picked up on it back in the day, but if you actually sit there and listen to the lyrics, like, it is a dirty song. Like, she talks about, like, when her boyfriend, who she doesn't like, is away, like, she's, like, slept with his two best friends, and then she giggles about it before going into, like, the really catchy dance verse. And they say, like, some shit in Spanish. I don't remember what it is. I have to listen to it again.
I was gonna say,
part of the dance is grabbing your ass, guys.
Yeah, that's true.
Your hips, and the back of your head, your ass,
yeah,
it fits.
Yeah. So, Macarena. Hey.
And they played those at school dances.
Yes, they did.
I remember like 7th grade, 8th grade dance.
They play at like weddings, like with kids at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's great because the last wedding I was at, like, none of the kids knew the dance, and I was like, "Oh, you're all too young for this." You
ought to put
it was
babes.
an odd feeling.
So
Don't
we
worry,
also
guys. I got this.
we also have a giveaway that is going on for the month of March, and this one is courtesy of our friends in the compound. And it is a copy of the Adventure Begins D&D board game. You can enter as many times as you want into that giveaway. We have actually lowered the number of channel points that you need. You just use your channel points. You can redeem the thing down in the bottom of the chat there. It's only 1,500 channel points now, and yeah, you can enter as many times as you want. You can also brawl and battle and chat, which you'll probably see some people doing. And that can get you an extra ticket, which I will type right here. Extra ticket to show you how you can do it. And it does that little noise so that I don't miss the fact that you redeemed an extra ticket, and I actually should have a different page open so I can keep track of who is entering. But anyway, so we're almost near the end. I think maybe Tuesday will be the last time people can enter. And we might even have a little surprise. We will be doing the drawing live on stream on Saturday the 2nd, I believe it is. Is that the 2nd or 3rd?
I think it's the 3rd.
The 3rd. So you all can see, that it's legit, and we use a rollable table and foundry, and pull the winner right in front of your face. And then what's the last thing? Oh, and then the last thing is I am going to be playing in a charity stream that starts on the 5th of April at 8 p.m. Eastern Time over at Wesselhausen's stream. I'll do a shout out so that you can hop over there. But
every time you say that, I always want it in like almost like a German or like a Ja. One of like it was a Wessenhaus.
Yes.
I don't know why.
I can't do the accent, but it does make me wish I could do the accent. So that is going to be
I
7.
spent a week and a half in Germany and did not pick anything up.
Well, I used to speak German fluently when I was a child because I was born there, but
Oh, that's true.
you don't use it, you lose it.
Gotta show me up. Show me up one more time.
No, because I can't do the accent. So it's gonna be 17 weeks long. It is a Candlekeep Mystery. It's called Jinkies Candlekeep Mysteries campaign. Every Monday for 17 weeks. So that's going to be from April through the month of July. Every Monday night. You can come and join us. It is sponsored by D&D Beyond, so every stream there will be a D&D Beyond giveaway, and also Bia D&D has sponsored it for the months of May and June, like the middle months of the campaign. So the goal is to raise $5,000 for glisten.org, which is an LGBTQIA+ nonprofit that helps to bring education and anti-bullying and all of that other fun stuff to the community and to schools and whatnot. So please go check it out. Follow us on Twitter. We just did a teaser reveal on Twitter of all of our characters and the awesome character art that was created for the 5 players. So definitely hop over and follow so that you can get notified when we go live. And I'm very excited for that. I did shift around our schedule a little bit so that Mondays used to be my DM prep. Now it's Thursdays. And that's just getting ready for the inevitable stream. And then by the time that's done, maybe we'll be, fingers crossed, very close to playing in a studio. I guess it depends on vaccinations. So, I think that might be it. We are
gonna do the wager poll thing.
Oh,
tonight.
yes.
I never would remember what it's called.
The prediction.
Prediction.
So, I did not put this up in our Discord, but we can do a prediction. Nope, that's not how you do it. It's this. Prediction. All right, so I'm thinking... I was kind of thinking, and I could be overruled on this, but it might just be easier to go with NAT20s. Unless you have a specific question.
If you want, but... Mr. Firesong over there blew his NAT20 load on Tuesday. There's no way that we're gonna get NAT20 out of him tonight.
Well, that's just one of 5.
With all those rolls, it was a big load. It was just like 19, NAT20, 17, 19. Hey, don't shame.
All right, well, I'm gonna I'll put this prediction out there. Will a NAT20 be rolled tonight? I'm gonna let it be a 5-minute prediction because it'll take a. Huh?
What about will 2 NAT20s be?
What are you
rolled tonight?
grumbling about over there?
Not grumbling.
Right? Why are you so grumpy?
I'm just gonna
Gonna make it more difficult.
I'm just gonna
'Cause
do
he
the
rolled 2
one
the
just to
night.
keep it simple.
Earned them goodies.
I think I rolled 2 NAT20s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. You had some good stuff on Tuesday. So
Praxis.
Can't wait to see that not happen tonight.
My first roll, I'm gonna make a prediction. I'm gonna make a prediction that within my first 2 or 3 rolls, if I make that many, one of them's gonna be under 3. Just gonna say right now.
Oh,
I'm gonna say that's gonna be under
personal predictions.
so the way
I'll
that
bet on that.
So the way that the predictions work, you guys can, guys and girls, and everyone in between, can register,
Thank you.
wager as many channel points as you would like to predict whether there will be or won't be any NAT20s rolled tonight. If you are successful, then you get a portion of whatever the wrong answer is, and that can help you to enter into the giveaway. And I don't know if this stands every time. Are we doing it if we hit 25 viewers, then everybody gets an entry into the giveaway? We have something like 67 entries this month.
Oh.
That's more than the art book got, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
I mean, I can do it
Really?
again. I mean, I've still got a good amount of points. I got like almost 30K. If we want to do that again, I'll just keep using.
Yeah,
my
I mean, I
points.
can do
I don't
it
use
as
them-
many.
I don't use them for anything else.
Yeah, I've got infinite points, so I can do that too if it comes to it. But...
I guess I'll just sit out and shut up.
no, I mean, if you wanted to do it
well,
but
I
ran
have,
out of
infinite
ran out of
so,
points, like I could do it for you.
fine.
I'm just fucking.
All right, everybody, I'm gonna roll our beautiful bean footage and get us started.
Laughed about it one time.
I think it's
Now
because
just
when she
said
said
it, it was just funny.
bee footage or something, someone said like that bean footage or the bean or something like that.
I don't
think.
know. Yeah, something. I don't remember.
So the first time we get together, we're all eating beans out of a can.
No.
Yes.
We can totally do that. Oh
Not
yeah,
if we're
Fire.
on first.
some nice camping bean sausage.
Lauren, I refuse to be in the same room as you playing a game if you're eating a
Oh, I
fucking can
know.
of beans. It's just not gonna happen. It's just not
Mhm.
happening. I'm
No, I'm
sorry.
just picturing. I'm
Right?
picturing like we're not even playing. We're just sitting around outside. It's that scene
Yeah.
from Blazing Saddles where
Yeah.
they're all cowboys are all sitting around
Just
eating
eat
beans.
beans? Yeah, absolutely.
There goes all my appeal. God damn it.
Look, there's someone out there for you that's into that thing.
Well,
I'm
I'm
sure
sure
they're-
it's in bed, so.
Yeah, he's in bed.
No.
Saw his beard, right?
He likes my wet ones.
What?
He likes the
What?
ones that sound like clapping seals.
Oh God.
and then you sneeze on them.
That's like clapping seals.
So
Oh,
Recap.
buttons. What's weird?
recap.
Speaking
Shall
of
we?
butts,
When we last left the Bums of Greenest, You all were actually in the trade district of, or the trade ward of the city of Waterdeep, the city of splendors. After having traveled there from Baldur's Gate, actually quite quickly, using a scroll of teleportation, which landed you directly in the basement of the House of Heroes, the Temple of Tempest within Waterdeep. You made your way through the city, hung out in a tavern called the Dripping Dagger for a couple of days, and learned some rumors and information while you waited for the days to pass so that you could coordinate a meetup with Leosin Erlenthar, the harper that you all had been working with and actually doing everything up to this point for, so that you could gather information to present to the council and try to convince the other leaders in other cities to take the threat of the Cult of the Dragon seriously. While staying in the Dripping Dagger, I forgot to tell you all of these things near the end of the last session, so I'm going to fill you in now on some rumors that you heard while you were hanging out there. So first of all, whilst staying within the inn, you found out that there was a murder in the castle ward of Waterdeep less than a 10-day ago. And it was of a high-end diplomat, actually one of the masked lords of Waterdeep, named Arthagast Ulbrinter. I don't know if anyone's writing these down, but I can spell it. A-R...
Two note takers. We finally have two note takers back.
A-R-T-H-A-G-A-S-T, Arthagast. Ulbrinter, U-L-B-R-I-N-T-E-R. And again, that was a masked...
I was way off.
a masked lord of Waterdeep who was murdered in the street a couple of... less than a week ago, less than a 10-day ago. Nobody knows quite for sure who it was that did it, but there are some rumors. Rumors are all over the place about who it could have been. Auric Firesong, keeping an ear out for information about Sea Hall, you found that there was actually an uprising of some commoners in Sea Hall, and Peter Amsel, the Port Lord, had some kind of monster on his side, according to the rumors, that quelled the uprising when it occurred. There were a handful of people that died, and the resistance that had been rising up has gone quiet at the moment. People are not sure. Rumors say demon, was it a devil? But some kind of monstrosity that helped Peter to keep the people from rising up. You also continued to hear in the inn that the bounty was indeed claimed by a single assassin, a lone assassin. They say it could have been a Leonin or a Tabaxi. No one saw for sure, but they appeared in the
That bastard moved fast.
But definitely cat-like, right?
That's what the rumors are saying. No one saw them for sure, but they appeared in the summer home keep, like right in the receiving area, basically. And they gave a finger, a digit, as proof.
It's probably because we just watched Puss in Boots with the kid, but I'm totally picturing their assassin as Puss in Boots now.
Some people are saying that they believe that the claiming of the bounty might have triggered the uprising of the people within Sea Hall, because there are some who were hoping that Auric Firesong would return to Sea Hall and convince others to come to his his side and help tell the story of what happened, as there are varying accounts of what happened at the massacre, the Bloodwine Massacre, and who killed Peter Amsel's father. There's all different accounts of all of that. So, that is what you learned while you were staying at the Dripping Dagger.
You're gonna come home like Robin Hood. They're all gonna think you're dead. Fucking Prince John is just stepping on the necks of all the people. You walk right into that hall and you remove your hood, and everyone's gonna be like.
That's what I'm hoping for.
So on and during that stay as well, Zan went back to Halimbar's Lutes and Harps, which happens to be the headquarters of the Harpers within the city of Waterdeep, and met up with Brianna, who had done his tattoo and initiated him into the Harpers a couple of months back. She instructed him that Leosin would meet with you all at the the front gates of Waterdeep Castle on the 16th of Hammer, or Deep Winter, and that is where you all were headed that morning, when there was a strange feeling that overtook everybody. Everything got quiet in the city all of a sudden, this feeling of unease, and the air went still. And it kind of only lasted a moment, but even the birds and dogs and cats, everything went quiet, and people just kind of looked at one another strangely. And then after a moment it passed, and in that moment Vidania fell to the ground, screaming and clutching at her back at first, and then curling up into the fetal position and just kind of clenching her teeth. And that is where we pick up on the morning of Deep Winter 16, with Vidania lying on the ground, just like trying to collect herself, and strangers staring at you as you were walking in the streets of the Trade District on your way to the castle to meet Leosin.
Lauren, get Vidania on the phone. We need her for this part. Just be like, you're on speaker. Your tramp stamp is burning. What do you do?
Just scream into the phone for us for a little bit.
We just need a little bit of immersion. That's all.
We know the kids aren't sleeping.
They're wide awake. So
we're all together. This happened in the middle of the street after the weird silence.
Yeah, everything went back to normal. The dogs started barking, and cats started meowing, and birds started chirping, and everybody started talking again. And then Vidania dropped to the ground, having rolled a 2-1 on her Constitution saving throw. So she is currently on the ground, just in a fetal position, kind of like trying to gather everything back to her.
Did she let out a scream that drew attention?
Oh yes, everybody is staring at you as she is on the ground.
And I don't think Ernot was present the last time her thing hurt. Is that correct?
Only Zan was. It was just them on the roof.
Okay, so he'd be turned with his you can have weapons out in this city, right?
Waterdeep, I mean, where you're at, you're in the Trade District. I mean, I don't know that as long as you're not kind of threatening people, you might be able to get away with it.
Okay, he would have his hand on his sword and be looking about, assuming someone shot an arrow at her, because he did not know that her tramp stamp burns.
Okay.
Zan's gonna go to her side, see if he can help her up, if she can get up.
All right, I'm just gonna roll another roll.
Be cool, Vidania. Be cool.
All right.
Is she physically grabbing her back? Can we see that her that's what's doing it?
Make a perception check.
I should have definitely been much better at that.
For some reason, when he said "be cool," obviously it reminded me of Pulp Fiction. Now I imagine Zan going over with bow in his hand and just being like,
No,
"Blah."
it
Oh man, I shot Marvin in the face. What is like? John Travolta accidentally shot Marvin's brain all over the friggin' car. Random aside, sorry.
I rolled a 19.
Hey.
Fucking nice.
Thank God, because I have none of that.
Okay. Yes. So you see that she's not clutching it as she's lying on the ground. She was clutching it like at first when she like first fell to the ground. She grabbed at it and then kind of like curled up into this fetal position, kind of holding on to her golden amulet around her neck and like her arm, her hands and fists. So you can see that she's been holding it so tight that her knuckles are white, and she's just. And then she takes Zan's hand and stands back up, just kind of breathing, and like you can see little beads of sweat just like on the side of her head there.
Did anyone see the shooter?
She's like, there was no shooter. I'm fine. I'll be fine.
You mean there's no shooter? What happened?
Can you walk?
I can walk. I'm fine. Let's go.
Are you injured?
No, I'm fine. She's just kind of holding the amulet. The mimic. BB. You see its eyes looking up at her like blink, blink, like these two big black saucer eyes, just like.
Can Abaddon wants to. Did that happen like immediately as that shift in the wind? Like it just kind of like, or is that feeling gone?
So, the feeling went away for the most part. So everything went quiet for a moment, and then when things started picking up again, that's when Vidania fell. But as you're looking around, you can see people are not making are not trying to hide it. People around you are just kind of like looking at you all. You can see that like people's eyes are a little bit wide, and all of you still have this like weird feeling of just like something's not quite right now.
We should get off the street. The quicker the better.
Let's go. As we go by, Ark is just gonna like look at whoever's closest and just be like,
Do something.
you know, and punk ass, just headbutt somebody on the way by. No, he'll just like loudly say, you know, you slay 100 goblins, you kill ogres in your sleep, and you fall on one cobblestone, and this is what happens. Just trying to like trying to play it off like she was like just clumsy or something.
Make a deception check.
Like.
The whole scene went by and it felt
Uh-oh.
really weird, and this girl screams, but she just fell on a cobblestone. No worries. Her heel broke.
Try and get. It's an 18.
Okay.
Right.
So you say this. There's like a man.
Izzy, I'm not sure if you know it's showing your roles in the thing. It says Game Master.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I had it as public. I have to keep changing it. Thank you.
Oh, because you're. Yeah, because you're a player on
Yeah.
on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to change mine back to public role because this is telling me private GM role now.
Yeah. So I changed it. Well, with a 15, there's a family kind of walking by, human family, and when you say that, the guy, the husband, just kind of looks and is like, mm-hmm. But you can tell that everybody around you is just like something has changed, and everyone is just kind of like looking at each other like it's not anything threatening or anything like that, but everybody just feels uneasy at the moment. So you continue to your destination.
I was gonna say, is
Okay.
Vidania walking okay, or does she need help?
She is gonna make another roll.
Because I'll throw like her arm over Arik's shoulder and like help her if she needs it.
She's walking all right.
Okay, never mind. As long as you don't need it.
Yeah. So you continue through the city towards the large mountain, and you can see Waterdeep Castle like sticking out from the side there. You continue on. It doesn't take too long to make your way through the streets to the front entrance of the Lord's Palace, Waterdeep Castle. And as you...
Was there
Oh, go ahead.
was there anybody noticeable around us? Like anybody that looked like Vidania? Perhaps?
Make a perception check.
While we were walking, I would have turned
Oh,
to Zan.
crap.
Just throw a dice across the floor.
Was the roll so bad you're not even gonna say?
Say, make your roll. Yeet.
Oh, a 4. What were you saying, Erdnot?
I would have, as we were just walking to the Waterdeep Castle, I would have turned to Zan, because I'm assuming we're just kind of both in front, and just be like, "This cannot bode well. Something has happened with bringing Tiamat closer to this plane."
There's something in the air. Something feels off.
But they don't have all the masks. Not that we know what they do. So she can't be back yet. I don't like it.
Need more information. Hopefully, we can find out more today.
I've been eagerly anticipating this meeting.
I'm not sure of anyone besides Leosin who will be at this meeting, so we should keep an eye out. Never know who we could run into again down the road. Best not to make any enemies before we set out our course.
I am fully invested in stopping this dragon beastie. I have no need to make enemies here. Besides, I'm always a nice guy.
That you are, Erdnot. That you are.
Yeah, big smile.
Nice and grumpy.
I was gonna say from the back of the group, you're just gonna hear Arik go, "Ah!" Like he just laughs out loud at it.
Run away!
Thank you for the raid.
Run away!
Hey, Compound.
Hey, there's the compound.
Nice to see you.
Hello.
So you continue on. Abaddon. Looking around, you do see people looking at you all still as you're going. In terms of notable individuals, you don't see anybody that sticks out to you. You don't see anybody that looks like Vidania in the city.
As we get closer towards the castle, and I take a look around to see if I recognize any of like the Hoppers or anyone that I've seen in one of the temples before.
Or the guy that was dug out of the hole. Like, presumably he'd be here.
Well, I'm not gonna require a roll from you. As you get closer to the castle, you see a familiar face starting to approach you through the front gates. As you start to approach the front gate of the actual Lord's Palace, and directly in front of you, a smile on his face, is your old friend Leosin Erlenthar, the half-elf that you helped to save from the raiders' camp, or perhaps helped to save you. It's, you never know. His dark black hair. He's wearing just kind of traditional common clothing, not not of Waterdeep. The Waterdavians have a very kind of almost like Victorian style of dress, not the crazy wigs type of Victorian, but just like the common Victorian. And he's not dressed in that way. He has more of like the more of what Zan wears, like a closer leathers, and his shoes are very, very thin, as a monk would wear. And he comes up to you all, smile on his face, and he says, "It's good to see you, friends. I wish there was time for me to catch up with you on your travels, but the council session is about to begin and your presence is demanded. Come." And he starts to lead you through the gate of Waterdeep Castle.
Ark will just call out, a moment, Nielsen. I have a question.
Yeah, he says, "Let's talk and walk. Talk and walk."
Sure. As we're walking, he'll just say, there was an odd pause, a silence, a few moments ago. People around here seem to have known what it was. What was it?
Well, I think more will be revealed in the council session. I'm not entirely sure what it was, but I have a feeling that my superiors might know more. And as you're walking through the temple, hold on. Zan, he turns to you and he says, Zan, I appreciate the information that you were able to pass along to me. It's been helpful, and Erlenthar is aware, as is Ramalia Haventree. What in the fuck? Did this not load? Son of a bitch.
Black
Did Lauren?
Screen.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say-
Lauren disappeared.
Oh yeah, we lost Lauren.
She's gone.
Uh-oh. Okay.
I think she froze, and
Maybe your
I don't know if she got booted off or is trying.
Oh, there she is.
She back? There you are.
Sorry.
No problem.
I'm
Yeah,
awake.
I definitely froze on a very displeased face. You're like,
My beans.
I am not amused.
God damn.
It'll be so awesome when we play in person again, because then we won't have to worry about any of that. Like,
I
no
know.
beams, no, you know?
None of this. Diddle-doo, diddle-doo. Sorry about that.
No problem.
All good.
So sorry, now I'm looking for my temple map here. So he says Onthar and Ramalia Haventree. Hey, 500 biddies.
Oh,
You
shit.
can do thank you so much,
You
the
get
compound.
biddies, and you get biddies, and you get biddies.
You can do
Everybody get biddies.
5 1d4 inspirations, or you can do like 1d6 inspiration to the player of your choice. It's totally up to you. You can just say in chat, "Thank you for the bits." Okay, so let's see here. We've got Leosin saying to you, "It's been helpful, and Onthar is aware, as is Ramalia Haventree. I hope you were able to achieve whatever goals you had set out for at Baldur's Gate." So he leads you through the halls to just outside of a council chamber. There are outer galleries that you can see, and they are completely packed with nobles they're engaged in these heated debates, and you can see the guards all around you are wearing livery from the city-states across the north. So you are seeing the crest from Baldur's Gate and from Neverwinter. You do not see Seahall, but you see Waterdeep and some other... Huh? Was it?
Yes, we're all in the temple.
Yes.
Oh,
You're all in the temple.
Oh,
You could
wait,
just
can I
ask.
interrupt?
Yeah, you can say it's
No, I
okay.
didn't want to interrupt. I knew you were on it.
I was gonna say because I just see
I missed an integral thing here.
Yeah, no,
you're-
it's just a black rectangle.
Yeah. Oh, you can't see anything still?
No,
No, I can't either. It's just
It
black.
says
Just a
temple,
black
but
rectangle.
there's nothing there.
Yeah,
Our
it's
tokens
not-
aren't there.
Oh, I see. Hold on. Sorry. There we go.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, it's
Um,
pretty.
Yeah. So it's actually the Lord's Arles. Spelled it wrong. There we go.
So all these nobles from various noble kingdoms are, and we're just strolling through with our muddy boots and shit. Like, are people taking notice of us, or then like nobody caring?
People are always looking at you, for sure. So, I mean, they're kind of looking at you as you walk by, but there's really nothing. You know, Leosin is leading you through. You can see that, some people are looking at you. And it's not like you walk through and everybody's heads turn, but people are talking very, very lively amongst each other and are engaged in their own conversations. You can see Leosin kind
so
of.
it's not like the full focus of people is on us.
No.
Because, like,
Not at all.
it's just like you turn your head as someone's walking through, not like everybody's like, oh shit,
No.
it's the bums
It's
of
probably-
greenest.
It's probably. Here come the bums of greenest.
Yeah. No.
Hear that guy in the background. Hold on.
No,
to
you
your
hear
butts.
it. So you actually hear the theme song of what was it? The grass is always greenest. Annie's Annie's guitar strings up as we walk in.
See us rolling.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, best friend, no. So
Only three of us understand what that is because she
It's okay,
keeps
it's
showing
fine.
us that TikTok.
I'm obsessed with that TikTok.
Give me all your numbers and I'll send you all the TikTok.
Yes, me too.
Yes.
Me too, best friend.
We'll just go back and forth.
Okay, so you, the guards are letting you pass. They're kind of waving you through as Leosin is leading you in. And as you get closer to the door that you are eventually going to go through, Leosin turns to you and is addressing mostly Zan, but he's talking to everybody. And he says, "Now, I am not part of the council discussions, but Romalia has informed me of the agenda and the reason that you have been summoned. It's important for you to know that Romalia's husband, a masked lord of Waterdeep, was assassinated less than a 10-day ago. According to our investigations, it was the cult that was behind it, though we are still confirming the reasons behind it. It has upped the stakes of this, and it is very important that we are able to convince everyone to join us. There is still much distrust between the factions, and I believe that the leaders need someone to show them the right path. Show them that we have heroes who will lead the forces of the Sword Coast with certainty into the coming darkness. And I think this is where you all will shine. But choose your words carefully."
Understood. All falls on our shoulders to make this happen.
And he nods to all of you, and then you hear from behind him, "Great to see you, champions!" And you kind of look and turn, and you can see Anthar looking extra shiny in his army get up, all polished. Leosin will smile at him, and he looks to you all, and he says, "This is my cue to leave. Good luck." And he kind of dips out and ducks into this growing crowd of nobles from across the Sword Coast that are gathering in the palace courtyard area. And Anthar looks at you and says, I'm glad you were able to make it. Though your written updates as passed along by Leosin were appreciated, there's nothing quite like hearing straight from the horse's mouth. You know what I mean? And he's got this
No.
big smile. Like, ah!
Of course, Anthar. We missed you. How are you?
I am fabulous. I am wonderful. It is a great time to be alive.
Isn't it?
I'm just kidding. It's pretty dire right now, but I
know.
Just Josh.
Before we head in, I did want to go over some etiquette with you very quickly.
Okay.
These are noble folk. Do not speak unless spoken to. No one inside has really committed to anything, as each individual represents their own interests. So watch your words. Each faction will be paying attention. And something that pleases one will piss off another. Do you understand?
Aye, balancing. Can't lean too strong one way or another. We have to keep them all on the same path.
So what you're
Are they all-
saying is, cover Erdnot's mouth.
Ark's
Kaya, I have been dealing with nobility for 200 years before you were born. I know how to handle it.
No fighting, no fighting.
I mean,
Ark's just gonna
maybe you know
just
how to
shake his
handle
head.
it, but maybe not like, efficiently or like correctly.
He just sits there like,
Ark's gonna just shake his head and say, fucking politics.
And Anthar is gonna like clap really loudly one time, and he's like, well, let's table this until after the very important meeting you are about to walk into, shall we? Please, follow me. And he opens this large wooden carved door, carved wooden stone door, actually, that leads into this large marble hall. And I am going to shift you over to the First Council of Waterdeep, which I hope is still there. Oh my god. Okay, shit did not get deleted. I ended up with a problem. I tried to do something with my computer. It deleted like all of the files off of my computer, and I had to reinstall them all and hope that they weren't lost forever. It was stressful yesterday. So, anyway. That might have actually been this morning. I can't tell time anymore. So, as you head into this large marble hall, in the center of the room you see an octagonal purple heartwood table with these high-backed chairs that encircle it, and a few extra, less ornate-looking chairs on the outskirts of the room. And sitting at the table are several well-dressed individuals, varying races, although mostly human, you do see, and they all turn to watch as you enter the room. And Anthar motions for you all to sit at the side chairs while he takes a seat at the table. So I currently have you set up here. Is this where you would like to sit, or would you choose different seating arrangements?
That's fine.
bother me.
Before we sit, Ark is gonna bow to the council.
Okay.
I just want to say that before somebody else.
Or not would
Sorry.
tip his head. And there's a dwarf over there on the left-hand side? Or is it just a short, fat man?
Yes, no, that is a dwarf. You do see a dwarf sitting there in full plate armor, and he also just kind of bows.
So he would buy, Ernat would just tip his head to the table in general, but look at the dwarf, and then do like a more dwarven greeting for him, because, he's not a fucking human or an elf.
Mm-hmm. Okay. He acknowledges your greeting, and you see all
Can I
of...
switch seats with Vidania?
The what? Oh.
Hold on.
I like
the
it.
idea of them
They already
just, like,
sat down and they're like, just gonna...
Across the room.
You wanna, like,
Like Abaddon just looked over at
If you
Mark
could
and
just-
was like, I don't want to sit next to him. Just got
Can I go sit with Sand because cat cooties?
I was eyeing Lady Dalla, so I don't know what's wrong with you guys.
Not as touching me.
So you, Avedon, in your head, you hear Bob, the ghost of Bob, and he's like, "Ooh, this is gonna be fun."
Bob!
Oh Jesus.
Okay. Let's see. Don't fuck this up for me.
You just hear a laugh in your head, like,
Did I hear her or see her do that?
I was definitely doing that out loud. Like gritting my teeth. Most of the time when I talk to Bob, I'm gritting my teeth.
make a perception check, or not. No.
Oh, he's gonna hate me again.
Nope, you didn't see it. You're too busy looking around at all the people in the room here. And I'm not going to go through a whole crazy intro. I am not, Matt Mercer from Critical Role. I'm going to move this die out of the way. Instead, I will show everybody who is sitting here at this table. And give a little bit. You can see everyone is sitting in a, this half circle or full circle, actually. They all address you. At the front of the table there, you do see a light-skinned human man with a beard and brown, longish hair. He has a glass of wine in his hand, and he does have the Lord's Alliance emblem, which is, as you can see, a crown over a red and yellow backdrop there. So he nods to each of you, and as Onthar sits down, you see the person at the head of the table, the man that I just described up here. He stands up and, with a glass of wine in his hand, looks at everybody in the room and says, "This is going to be me playing 12 NPCs, by the way, tonight. Just throwing that out there. So here we go.
It's so fun.
So much fun."
I need to do something like this in the other game.
So here we are. So he stands and he says, "Thank you all for coming together to meet on this serious matter. Before we get started on the main topic at hand, I want to offer my condolences to Lady Ramalia Haventree as to the murder of her husband, Lord Arthagast Ulbrinter. Lady Haventree was instrumental in bringing together this council meeting, and for this, I again thank you." And you see sitting to the left of him is Lady Ramalia Haventree, who you met briefly in El Terrell when you entered the pair of Black Antlers Inn. She had left and spoken to you just for a moment as she was leaving. So she is an elf with dark hair and light skin. She just kind of looks to him, nods solemnly, doesn't really say anything. And, well, she does say, she says, "Thank you, Lord Never Ember, for your kind words." And Lord Never Ember, sorry, he nods again, looks at everybody. "No doubt we have all heard rumor, but it is here that I would like to state we have confirmed that the cult of the Dragon Queen, or the Queen's Consort, as they have recently begun referring to themselves, mean to summon Tiamat from her prison in the Nine Hells." And from across the way you see the dwarf with lightly tanned skin. He's got this fading red hair and a matching beard, and he's wearing his full plate armor, and he stands up and he says, "Never! We dwarves will never allow it." And there's a moment of like silence as they're both staring at each other. And then Lord Neverember says, "I appreciate the passion, Lord Braun Anvil, if I may." And Braun Anvil kind of like looks around and is like, sits down.
He's my kind of guy. Whoa, why are people dropping? We just lost, Okay, Roy's back. Pat's not back
Yes.
yet, though.
I'm
Oh.
sorry, I'm just trying to change venues
Oh, okay.
discreetly. I'll be right back.
Yeah, sorry, my I had a phone call come in, and when it does that, it puts the Skype on hold.
No problem.
Sorry.
So the dwarf sits, and Neverember looks about and says, "Again, we have all heard rumors of the looting, pillaging, raiding, and dragon attacks as of late. We have confirmed these incidents to be true, thanks to the hard work of the Harpers and the Order of the Gauntlet, led by Leosin Erlenthar and Onthar Froom, who have collaborated together for many months to bring us proof of the cult's dealings." And of course, as he says this, he looks to Onthar, who again, like, there's all this, formal nodding and acknowledging, wordless acknowledgements. And Neverember looks again and says, "At this time, I would formally thank our guests," and he kind of gestures to you all, "for their hard work in that endeavor. I have been told that you have been instrumental in providing the necessary intelligence to get us even to this very important council meeting. Before we begin, if you would please introduce yourselves to the council, names and from whence you hail would suffice, and then of course anything you may have to add prior to our meeting." And
DM, can I have elbowed Zan when we were acknowledged in that way, just excitedly like, "Oh, it's on."
Yeah, do they gesture to any side of the room?
he'll start, like, he gestures it to you, or not, to start.
Or not? Stands up, straightens himself as the most regal as his companions have seen him. And he again bows and he goes, "Erdnot, son of Urdos, the judicious, son of Udar, the founder, head merchant and chieftain of Clan Brewbottle of the Trajan Hills." And then he bends down a little further and puts both arms out.
They all kind of nod to you, except for Braun Anvil, who actually stands up and acknowledges you as well, and then sits down.
Presumably, he should have at least heard of the brew bottle name
Yep.
or their wares.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Bitch, you know me."
All right, Abaddon.
No. I'm gonna, I'll glance at Erdy, and then I'm gonna pop up real quick. I'll say, "Oh, I'm Abaddon. I'm from around here too. Okay, next."
And as you're speaking, you can feel that your hand is coming up to your face, and you know that Bob is trying to go for like a nose pick. roll a Constitution save.
Oh boy.
No, sorry, a
I
wisdom.
hope
Wisdom.
he fails.
It's wisdom. Sorry, it's not
I
con.
hope
It's
he fails.
wisdom.
I hope he picks your nose.
She tries to fight it and then loses it and it
Oh my god, I hope
It's-
so bad. I
It
hope
gets stuck.
There's a really, 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 really good chance that this will happen.
No, I think your wisdom is pretty good.
I mean, yeah, you're
There we
spellcaster.
go.
There we go.
Not,
There you
yeah,
go.
not bad,
17.
not bad, not bad.
So
There
you
you
you feel it coming down, and then you're able. Oh, it's an 18? No, it's a 0. So you feel it like coming up, and you're able to kind of be like, and then just like sit back down.
We all know Lauren in real life wouldn't do that.
Luga.
Keep blinking at the table.
Hey, Beluga. All right, Zan, you're up.
Yes, my name is Xander Huntsman. I am originally from Quiet Clearing, but now I am from Greenest.
All right, Micaiah.
Micaiah Mallows at your service. Just gonna gesture over to Vidania.
Vidania stands and says, Vidania Cianodale from Elven Tree. She sits.
Is that the first time we've heard her last name? It's the first time I've heard it.
First time I remember hearing it.
I'll stand up and hand over the left side of my chest and just bow in a military style fashion and just say, I am called Trogdor. That is what my friends call me. And just sit back down.
Trogdor! Or no, it was a different character.
I'll
You would
remember
still
I didn't-
that.
I didn't say the Burninator.
Well, that's your title.
So, they also said if there was anything you wanted to add, that now was the time. As Zan, just as a reminder, when you wrote your letter, you shared with Leosin and so the council that there were 5 dragon masks, that you have the black mask, that the cult is rebranded as the Queen's Consort, or is attempting to, that Asbara Jos mentioned a spy at the Arcane Brotherhood that may have been a red wizard, and thousands of souls are needed to complete the ritual, which you went into a little bit of detail on. So those are the things that you said.
And the council's been informed of all that, or
You
not yet?
you would assume that they are, but Anthar wasn't super clear about everything that was shared, but he did say that they've shared with the council. So Never
Can I
Ember.
elbow Zan?
Oh, go ahead.
Do you think that they all read your letter and everything? Looking like he's there.
I'm not sure, but this is the time that we can fill in any gaps.
Do you think we should just listen then? Shut up.
We were told to speak when spoken to.
Never Ember is like watching you. He's like, if you have something to share, please do. Now is the time. Any additional information that you may have, since we were informed of your exploits from Anthar, he looks at Anthar from again, would be valued at this time.
Yes, my lord. Since after we had sent our letter noting of the things that we have come across, in the time from the letter till now, we had recently discovered an artifact of some sort, an orb. Some wizard had asked us to retrieve it so that he may research it further. We were asked to be kept in the loop as we returned to see what he had discovered. We found that he had been taken. There was blood in his house, and his house was ransacked. All we could find were traces of some of his research. We believe that the orb is called the Orb of Dragonkind. Both the wizard and the orb were taken. We were not able to find where they were, but I cannot but believe this is somehow connected with the cult. Seems like an artifact they would want to use for whatever devious plans that they have in store for this world.
You can see as you're talking, you can see the different members like looking at one another, a couple of people leaning in and whispering to one another as you go through that. And Lord Neverember looks to you and says, "And where did this happen? Where was this wizard? Where was this orb found?"
The orb was found in an abandoned mining town, just a few days outside of Baldur's Gate, where the wizard was from. The cultists that we believe took him are active inside of Baldur's Gate to some extent, not unlike other cities that we've come across. We're not sure 100%, but it's too big of a coincidence. Orb of Dragonkind, we already know that they are working with at least 2 dragons. Chromatic dragons being... It's unprecedented, but I can't shake it. I know that it's somehow connected.
So at this point, you see next to Ramalia Haven Tree, a human male with dark brown skin and a shaved head. He's wearing this shiny but well-used plate armor with a large symbol of the flaming fist on the chest, stands up, and he says, "I am not aware of this. Did you inform the Flaming Fist of this crime that occurred within the walls of Baldur's Gate?"
Yes, we did. When we were unable to track the wizard, we let the guards know, the Flaming Fist, everything that we had found out.
And what was this wizard's name?
This happened, but, what, 3 days ago?
His name is Hazaron. He is a dragonborn wizard.
No, 5 days ago. I'm losing track of... Because it
Uh,
happened like 2 days before
no,
we
it was-
teleported.
It was
No.
the day
No, it
before.
It happened
the day
day
before.
before we teleported.
Yeah, it's
I think
been
so,
about
like
4
3
days.
ago.
3-4 days.
Okay. It's like, this happened 3 to 4... This happened 4 days ago.
Okay. He looks to you. So the wizard's name was Asim Egreth. So Hazaron is the name of the sword that you guys found. But
Oh yes, I have it written down. Next dragonborn wizard.
I was looking for it. I have 3 different notebooks where all my notes are kind of my haphazard notes. I was literally scrambling between 3 different notebooks, and I was like, "No, I know it's not that." Trying to find what it was.
As soon as I said it, I was like, that doesn't sound right.
So Neverember looks to the individual who was just standing, and he says, "Marshal Ravengard, I'm sure we can speak about this at length after the meeting." And the marshal sits down. So Neverember looks to you all and says, "So I understand that you were instrumental in the start of this, that you came across the city or town, the hamlet of Greenest, and were able to witness a mighty blue dragon fighting alongside the cult members who at the time were marauding as raiders. Can you tell us a little bit more about your first dealings with the cult?"
Damn, is that like punch and a punch bowl over to the west side of this room?
Yes, so on the outskirts of the room, you can see that there are
Just punching
tables.
by the meeting.
There are tables with like wine and like little foods and stuff that are set up for this meeting.
Okay. Abaddon is going to kind of like quietly stand up and inch toward the west side of the room.
Aya is gonna give you.
eyeballs like you never seen in your life.
Yeah, as she gets up and
Like,
walks past her,
legit.
he just sits there with like a bewildered fucking
Like,
face.
what the?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Arik is gonna
What are you doing?
and Arik is gonna face palm.
And
She's gonna go
Bob
It's
from
Snack table.
within your brain is like, I don't even have to try. He just laughs, like, as you're getting up, he's like, Abaddon, are you being serious? Are you serious right now? As you're getting up, you hear in your head.
I'm like, just go really slowly.
just in the middle of this talk, she's just like,
Stand against the wall, kind of. I just want to
It's
see
like-
what's on the table.
slowly reaching for a piece of pie. just
Okay, so you
Cube
get
of
up.
cheese. I'll take anything I can get.
So you're getting up right now.
I'm just saying,
Getting
but
up right
like
Just, like,
Abaddon
not-
is Lord right now. Lauren and Abaddon are the same person right now at this moment.
Why is Abaddon farting as she's doing this too?
No, it's just because it's a super serious moment. But here's Abaddon going to look for cheese.
Okay, wait, hold on though. Are you getting up?
No. Yeah, but like not like I'm not like jumping up like, oh, is there punch? I'm more like
Okay,
I'm gonna help
so
myself to a piece of cheese.
just gonna
everyone. Okay,
I just
so
wanna see.
Oh my god.
Damn it.
Oh my god.
everybody, because the only person standing in this room right now is Lord Daggle, Neverember, and whoever was just talking. I don't know. Was it Zan?
It was Zan.
So Zan and and Lord
Okay, I'm
Neverember.
not gonna get all the way up. I'm gonna be like bent knees, kind of like
That's
shuffling.
worse.
she's army crawling on the ground like I'm on a mission to get some of this fucking cheese.
Oh my god.
Going underneath the chairs.
So in your
I'm not trying to make a scene. I was trying to sneak.
You're only standing right next to the other guy that the Lord is talking to. I'm sure you'll be able to sneak right by.
so
I mean, all I have to I can climb over Erdnot, and there's the snack table.
Not climb over there, not.
So Bob is just dying in your brain right now. I just want to say he's just like all you can hear is like a lizard folk guffaw in the back of your head as you kind of like get up, and just any kind of movement that you're doing, whatever it is, and everybody in the room just kind of like watches you. So, and this is going to be a special description as Abaddon, you kind of stand up and then like bend over very slightly and like kind of almost like climb over Erdnot, and your tail like flips up in the air, and luckily you've gotten you've gotten your pants tailor-made for you, as like your leg flips over, your hoofed foot like sticking kind of up a little bit, but trying to be. I'm gonna have you roll a what is this? What is happening? We're gonna do a performance. Go ahead and roll me
I
a
was gonna say
performance.
acrobatics.
I know. I
A
did
performance?
like a stealth check to see if she could do this.
I mean, it can't be stealth because everybody's watching. I'm just gonna see how.
That's-
This is absolutely not what I was thinking was gonna happen. Like, okay. So what am I doing? A
Performance.
stealth check?
Nobody
Nope, just
knows.
performance. Everybody is looking at you as you are standing up, like just hold on, and
Fucking-
kind of crawling over.
Lauren's back, baby.
Maybe.
I mean, I guess a 20-year-old would do this, like in the middle of a very, very important meeting,
Oh, this-
not quite
Well, so what-
realizing. Oh my god.
Jesus.
So,
Not a nat 20, but a fucking 20.
Whatever. I can get my snacks.
so as you lift your leg over, your tail is up in the air, your butt is just like on full, as you're like, oh, hold on, sorry. And you go around and you see, as you like make your way over, flashing everybody your, well, it wouldn't be white anymore, is it? Like your tail has like little bits of red that are starting to streak up it. And you know, you've taken your father's advice to heart, as he said, you know, these pants are what get me tips. And your pants, if you were in the bar still, you feel very confident that each one of these people in this room right now would have made it rain. Like flicking gold coins off of that bootay as you.
Well, if it's coins, I think that'd be making it hail.
Yeah.
And despite the fact that you are moving out of your chair in the middle of a council meeting with all of the lords and ladies of the various factions,
the big whoop.
everyone just kind of watches you as you go, and you see actually, so the woman who is like directly in front of you, she kind of like turns to watch you go, and then like you see her laugh a little bit, and then you see the dwarf.
Does she?
And there's rolled a 1.
You see the dwarf kind of like watching and is like just shaking his head a little bit. Everybody's just watching as you go over to that food table and check out what's there, which is these little tiny like pastry things that are very, very simple, almost like tea cakes, and wine. And in front of the dwarf, you can see a big tankard that is not wine, but it's just very kind of simple, like almost for show foods and wine that is set out on the table. And everyone's quiet. Everyone's quiet watching.
Not stands up at this point, and he goes, "My lords, ladies, please forgive the child. She has lived a very sheltered life in Baldur's Gate. But yes, when we arrived at Greenest, it was under attack by the cult and the Blue Dragon. And this was the first I have ever heard or dealt with it in my time. But the odd thing was that the dragon had no allegiance to this cult. Yet the white one that we fought in the ice castle seemed to have more of a fight in it. They do not seem fully united."
I'm gonna stuff a cake in my mouth.
Are you gonna stand at the table, or are you heading back to your seat?
No, I'm just. Well, no, I'm not standing. I just want to be near it, like a little bit, like.
She's gonna be Will Smith in Men in Black when he's taking the test and drags the metal table across the floor.
I want to stay at like Ertie's height, but just like near the cake.
Okay.
It would be like silent, but you just hear Abaddon chewing cake. Like just...
So Abaddon is right here. All right. So you still see some lingering eyes on Abaddon as she just kind of hangs out near the cake there, but the woman right here with the brown hair, she looks at you, Abaddon, and she's like, just gives you a nod, like.
I'll just be like, "Do you want cake too? You want,
She's like,
you want to pass you cake? Do you want cake?" But I won't say it. I'll just be like.
So. Okay, so you mentioned the castle there, and when you do, you see the woman who is to the right of Lord Neverember looks over, and she says, "Did you just say a sky castle?" And you can see she is a human woman. Light skin, light hair, almost blonde, like blondish kind of silvery color, and very decked out.
"I did, milady. Castle of the Sky Giants."
Interesting. And where is this castle of the sky giants now?
Its exact location I am unaware of, but it is up north.
And she looks...
Because
Oh, go ahead.
the cult was using the castle as a stronghold. Most of the loot that they had stolen from the various cities and raids was being funneled there. The giant king, Bladicus, has agreed that he will return all of what was collected by the cult back to the cities and towns. He left us with a scroll so that we can communicate the where and when. We were hoping from the various places, there's no way for it to be completely sorted out, but if it could be divided back into the cities to help rebuild and restore the economies that have been destroyed from the raids, we would really like to make sure that we can tell him where and when would be best to return all the gold and jewels.
Aye, an honorable act from a giant.
And you see the woman, she looks at Lord Neverember and she says, a giant's castle would have been good for the war effort. In fact, it's unfortunate that our heroes didn't convince the giant to stay so we could gather reinforcements to secure it. And you allowed, and she looks back at you all, the entirety of the horde is on this giant's flying castle, and you allowed it to go to the north? And Anthar at that
I'm
point...
gonna stuff another piece of cake in my face.
See, Auric will just kind of pick his hand up slightly like this and say, "Excuse me, my lady, but this particular storm giant, we don't allow him to do anything. We're not in the particular situation to make such demands to take all of it."
And we did offer he join us, but he has his own agendas to attend to.
And as you say that, the dwarf actually slams with a brawn anvil, slams his hand down on the table, and he stands and he's leaning forward and he says, I am Conrad Brawn Anvil, son of Banach Brawn Anvil, king of Mithril Hall and leader of Clan Battlehammer. And I will die before the dwarves of Mithril have anything to do with giants and giant-made things. And you see Lord Neverember, and he says, please, Lord Brawn Anvil, sit. We will discuss this later. You say you have a way of speaking with the giants, is that so?
Yes, we have a scroll to send him a message. He gave us safe passage after we were able to start the uprising in the castle. When he returned us to outside of Baldur's Gate, he gave us a scroll, as he does not want the loot. He is a king, he is very proud, and taking what is not his does not seem to be in his nature.
So Neverember looks to his left to Lady Ramalia, and he says, perhaps you can speak with Xander Huntsman after our council meeting and perhaps coordinate with the giant to get more information. You see the Lord Brawn Anvil, he kind of huffs and sits back down. And Ramalia looks at Lord Neverember, and she says, I can speak with Leosin to see what we can find as to its whereabouts. Yes.
Who is able?
Holy shit, table troop. Damn, son. Thank you so
Hey,
much
thank
for
you.
the bits. So you can give inspiration or re-rolls, actually, if you want to any of the Here, I'll throw these down. You can let us know how you want those to be spread out. Thank you for the biddies.
Hey, DM, would
yes.
I know whether or not dwarves like cake?
Everybody likes cake.
Everybody liked
Oh.
Abaddon's cake when you climbed over Erdnot.
Those are biscuits.
That was
Um,
rump cake.
Can I give some cake to hold on.
Ronan, the dwarf?
To Bron.
How close is she to, or not? Because
She's right next to. She's right next to Earth.
Okay, so
I'm
he is going to
literally next-
stay her hand.
And all again, Abaddon, like as you go to reach out to like give this cake to the dwarf, who is not facing you at the moment, but is like about to turn as he sees like movement, all you can hear is like the loudest laugh in your head. Just there's no like Bob has just been laughing the whole time that you've been sitting there. And it's like this wheezy kind of like lizard folk laugh. All right, let's see. Table troop. You can do 2 1d6 inspiration, or you could do like 5 rerolls. Not everybody's got rerolls. I'm just gonna write them down because I'll update the little thingies after. So we've got 5 1d4s that I'll just give to everybody who's here, and if you want, do 5 rerolls.
So if you won't let me give the cake to him, can I give it to the lady next to?
Or not, just is holding her hand and just going.
Ooh, I'm gonna push on that cake.
Okay, so we'll do opposing strength checks. And actually,
We're gonna have to.
Abaddon, you get to add +3 to your strength roll, because when you go to reach the cake out and Erdnot grabs onto your wrist or arm or whatever to try to stop you, Bob, finding this hilarious, is going to lend you his strength if you want it. I think we agreed that like you can do that a couple times per rest, or I don't remember the details exactly, but
Oh, we're doing this.
but yeah, you can add +3 to your strength. So
I just want to say the whole time Zan hasn't even looked to his left at all. He is just staring straight ahead, like he is not even. He's like, do whatever you want. I'm solid focus, straight ahead.
Wait. Okay, strength check?
Yep, just a straight strength check.
All
seven.
right, Cuba, you gotta roll better than. There you go.
Wait, hold on.
That's
what's
actually
this?
a really low roll because I
Yeah.
have +5 to my strength, and it's already.
Abaddon, you have a
Wait.
reroll.
You do have a reroll.
Oh,
Can I do that now?
If you would like to use your reroll on this opposing
Wait.
strength check for cake, you can.
Yep.
Oh,
I'm gonna use my fucking reroll.
So worth it.
Hold on, Cuba, before you roll.
you got
I
a
was gonna
20. She
mention
got a
this
20.
before, But you've got
So worth it.
that belt. Make sure that you factor that in if you have
I
to.
think it's adding it.
Okay.
Hold on, let me check.
Good.
Yeah,
It's a
adding it.
+5.
Try.
All right, she
Okay,
rolled a
try.
20. She rolled a 20.
And I got 1 higher.
No, wait. No, she rolled a 20.
Oh, because she gets the
She gets +3 from what's his face's strength. So as so you guys are all
Looks
in
like
this.
I'm giving cake out.
I think in that case the cake just goes flying.
You
It's like, just...
Abaddon, you reach forward with this cake to try to like present it to who are you trying to present it to?
Well, the lady now.
Okay.
Because I couldn't give it to the guy, right?
Well,
I couldn't give it to the dwarf.
I gave you the head shake, no.
They're both right in front of you, so it depends who you're going for.
Okay, I guess whoever is looking at me first. Can I serve it in the middle and see who's looking first?
So you okay, you reach forward with this cake in your hand. Erdnot's hand comes shooting out. How are you trying to prevent her from giving the cake to these diplomats?
Oh, he's just like he shoots it out, like
so
it's trying to
sorry,
push her arm like down. Yeah, like I'm not like grabbing her wrist, like I'm not squeezing, trying to hurt her.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
like pushing it down and like maybe back a little.
Okay.
Oh.
So you try that, and again, like the loudest laugh in your head, Abaddon. You just like if he had pants to pee in, this ghost would probably be peeing his pants. He's just
Yeah,
laughing
he's
so
peeing
hard.
in your brain.
And he almost like without even thinking, well, it would be without thinking, your arm moves out of the way and like pushes past and just like presents out this piece of cake, and you see Lord Bronanvil, the dwarf, like turns very quickly and looks in your direction, and then like stands up and pushes his chair back slightly, and you see the lady's standing there too, and she
Lady Dala.
yeah, she kind of jumps a little bit as the cake comes forward, and the dwarf is like, "What is wrong with this child? What is wrong with this demon? Who brought?" And he starts to get really upset, and now everybody's like, "Sit, please." And Lord Neverember is like, "Please sit, Lord Bronanvil. These are the heroes of Greenest." And you see Onthar Froom is just like with nothing you've seen him do before, but he's just like, "Please, everyone, they are new to. Clearly, this is not an area where they typically find themselves sitting in front of council members, and it's very stuffy in here. It's very stuffy in here. Don't you agree?" And you see like the woman who's standing in front of you, Abaddon. She just kind of settles herself back in. And she's like, thank you very much. And she actually takes the cake from your hand, and
Yeah.
and Lord Neverember is like, please, Lord Bronanvil, just sit. Everything is fine. And he's looking at you. The dwarf is looking at you. Abaddon is just like shaking his head, like, disrespect, the disrespect. And so the woman is just like, sit, Lord. And everybody's trying to get him to sit down. And there's a moment where like everything's kind of like all like everyone's in a tizzy. And
Sounds
Onthar.
like Lord sounds like that dwarf is the bitch, not me.
You say that in your head to Bob?
No, I think it's just to Bob.
And he is just still laughing in your head. He's just like, ah! This is the best thing ever. This is the best day of my death.
Please, Lord. Children of other races are very difficult. I don't know what that accent was. Are very difficult to deal with. Believe
That
me.
was Russian.
This one has tried my patience to the absolute limit, but she is a brave, powerful, and cunning resource.
So
I assure you.
he looks at you, Erdnot, and he says, "Well, tell your resource to sit down and show some respect."
He turns to Abaddon with a very pissed off face, very quietly says, "Please return to your seat before I tie you to it."
And in your head, you hear Bob, and he's like, "Boop him on the nose. Just do it. Just do it."
I'll scoop up a handful of cake, and just in my left hand, and then I'm gonna do a quick boop, and I'm gonna take a seat.
Are you going back to your
I'm
chair?
gonna keep the cake though. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess. Yeah. I'll go back to my chair.
Okay.
Erdnot turns a little. He's already red, but he turns visibly more red at that boop.
So at that point,
Oh, and I'm going to cast Hold Person on her once she sits down.
Oh.
I think that's a contesting thing, right? What does she have to
I
roll?
don't know. Let me see.
A save
never
of
used
some
it
kind.
before.
It's surprising to me that you haven't used that, especially, I mean, ever.
She has to succeed on a wisdom save.
Oh, bitch.
Oh, wisdom save.
What
Yep.
you got? What do you got?
Oh, only lasts 1 minute. Never mind.
1 minute might be
If it
enough.
lasted like an hour, then I'd do it.
Whatever. I'm gonna be hungry again in a minute. No big whoop.
So, as everybody kind of calms down, you see Lord Neverember, and he's like, "Perhaps we move on. Thank you. You have done a great service to the people of the Sword Coast. Let us begin the meeting, please. We'll go around the table, and while some of us have attended meetings like this in the past, we do have new faces, so I ask that you please introduce yourselves. I am Lord Dagalt Neverember of the great city of Neverwinter, the Jewel of the North. As representative of Neverwinter, I must stress that I support the pooling of resources, including troops, war machines, defensive and offensive spellcasters, food, refugee shelters, whatever is necessary. This is a threat that impacts far more than just the Sword Coast, and I expect that others at this table will commit to providing the same." And then he looks up to his right, and you see to the blonde woman, and he says, "My lady," and he sits down, and each of them will stand as they introduce themselves, but she stands and she says, "I am Lady Laurel Silverhand, a representative of Waterdeep. I respect your position, Lord Neverember. However, we believe at this time that each city should choose their own army and use them for their own protection and defense. We should spend our resources gathering information. Where will the cult strike next? Where are their leaders? Where are the masks we have heard so much about?" And then she sits, and you see the next individual stand up, and actually it is at the other end of the table. This tall, elven man with very ornate clothing. And he says, "Thank you. I am Lord Melendrox, and I have traveled from the Misty Forest to represent my people. We recognize the importance of this council and of this mission. However, we elves were once the greatest civilization to grace Faerun, and my people are heir to that history. We will not squander our waning strength. The elves will protect our homeland." And you all can make perception checks.
I don't need a perception check. Tell me that other elf didn't hook rough at that.
It's a 20,
Lord Melendrox.
not natural.
Oh, 2. I'm too annoyed by the boop.
Oh, don't you blame it on me.
I can look these up.
Lord Melendrops.
All right, so it is, who is this? We've got Micaiah and Zan.
Zan rolled a 20.
You both notice some people that like give eyes to each other, like when around the table when Melendrock is speaking, and he says, "I am well aware that my sons, Alagarthus and Naren Vane, have always rushed headlong into their own pursuits, but I urge caution, as my late son Naren Vane learned the hard way. Let us learn more before we commit to anything rash." He sits down. As he sits, the man over on the right hand of the room next to the head of the Flaming Fist stands up. He is a human man, white beard, matching white hair. And he stands and he says, "I am Lord Tern Hornblade, and I have been asked to come to this council to represent Silvery Moon in Methramer's stead. So far, the North has been spared the cult's attacks, unlike the carnage that has ravaged the South. That said, calculated risks are necessary to win this war, and no one is likely to emerge unscathed. Silvery Moon's great wards of protection have experience with fighting against dragons, but approached it smart. We will be prepared to do our part, but I must bring back information about the reliability of our would-be allies if Silvery Moon is expected to send aid by way of the Knights of the Silver outside of the area. And then he looks over to all of you, like across the room, and then he sits down. And next to him, sorry, this is just me talking to myself.
Keep doing it, rolling.
So the Marshal stands, and he says, I am Marshal Ulda Ravengard, and I come here to speak as leader of the Flaming Fist, the military might of Baldur's Gate. I have the greatest martial acumen of anyone on this council, and I can also muster more soldiers than anyone at this table. As you well know, the South has been devastated by the attacks from this so-called cult of the Dragon Queen. You will need our help to be successful, but we will not commit yet, not until it's clear that all that are dedicated to this united cause. Our duty is first and foremost to the people of Baldur's Gate. And then from next to Tairn at this table here, Onthar stands up, and his armor is glinting in the light of the chandelier that's hanging from the center of the room. He says, My good friends, you all know me, Onthar Froom of the Order of the Gauntlet. Our position is simple. The strong must defend the weak, whatever the cost. Just as good deeds should be performed in the light for all to see and benefit from. So must evil be fought and shunned whenever possible. Everyone at this table must commit all that they can. And what say you, my good friend, Sir Isteval, Paladin, Dragon Slayer? You sit here happily retired from war. But what of Daggerford's resources? And across the way here, you see a human male with this dark, beautifully ornate, dark plate armor, with a purple cloak that's hanging over his shoulder, and a great sword across his back. And he slowly stands up, shifting his weight in a way that makes it clear that he's overcompensating on one side. And he looks to everyone and he says, Daggerford is but a small settlement with little to provide. So of course, what we have will be at the disposal of this council. I am of the firm belief that heroes such as those sitting in our presence today are the spark that will ignite the flames of righteousness in others, and the light that chases away the darkness of evil. We must trust in their deeds to bring others to the fight. And then he kind of turns his body a little bit to your group, and he says, Thank you for your commitment. To the people of the Sword Coast, your work thus far has saved countless lives, and you will, no doubt, save countless more. And then he takes this deep breath and turns to the council, a little bit straighter in his stance. And he says, Council, I must say to you out of respect, and I do assure you that it is respect and hope for a mutual cause that I reveal this. I have been drafted by Cormyr to gain insight into what looks to be a war brewing on its western border. And then there's this instant uproar of speech from all of the people, all of the other people in the council, as you hear people saying a spy? What is the meaning of this? This cannot stand. And Onthar stands and is saying, please, everyone, please. And He looks kind of like everybody's talking, and he looks over to your group, kind of like, say something. Like this guy just kind
I'm
of
gonna
stood up for
throw
you.
my cake on the ground. I'm gonna throw my cake on the ground. That handful I grabbed, smash it.
Zan will stand up. My lords, my ladies. This is not the time for this.
And
No one would be here if you did not see the signs of what is coming. This is something greater than all of us. Everyone here is trying to protect their people. We all know that. We can't do this individually. We have to stand united as one front. The cult has already taken over one whole town that we know of. How many other small towns in all of your own homes has the cultists secretly infiltrated, converted, or taken completely out any opposition? No one knows how long they have been at this for, but they already have 2 dragons. They have connections to the Red Wizards of Thay. And we know for sure that even though we took all of the loot that they had, we know for sure that this is only going to slow them down. This is not ending anytime soon. We cannot lose sight of that. We're all here for the same goal. We want to stop the cult, but more importantly, we know the cult is willing to sacrifice thousands of lives for their beliefs. That's why we're all here. We're trying to prevent that. Even if it doesn't raise Tiamat outright, thousands of lives. How many of your people, how many of us here right now will be in those numbers? Please, my lords, let us try and find common ground, and we can attack this as a whole.
so about half of what you said you had to say with like people yelling, but as you continued talking, people started to calm down a little bit, and people are looking kind of sort of at the words that you're saying, but a lot of them are looking like very angrily at this Sir Istival, based off of what he has just said. And you do see Zan, when you mentioned the Red Wizards, you see this King Melandrox, he looked at you for a moment in mentioning that. And you see, like, Anthar's like, please, everyone, sit down, please. And everybody starts to sit down, except Sir Istival, who stays standing, and he looks at Anthar and looks at you. And he says, I can assure you that my loyalties to Daggerford, to Cormyr, to the Lord's Alliance, and to all good folk are not at cross purposes. If we can work together at a common goal, I may yet be able to commit the Knights of the Purple Dragon to this cause. And you hear a bunch of scoffing as he sits back down, and people are starting to like calm down around the table. You see Lord Neverember at the head of the table. He gestures to the man sitting down here at the other end, and he says, please. And a male, light-skinned half-elf with brown hair that falls just below his chin and a short-cut beard. He looks visibly uncomfortable. He's kind of wearing less fancy garb than the rest of the people around the table, more like a hunter. And he stands up and says, I am Delan Winterhound, and I come representing the Emerald Enclave. There is no question that Tiamat must be stopped, but the Emerald Enclave wants to see the world restored to order. I am acutely aware of the destruction accompanying the recent activities of the Cult of the Dragon. I know the cult must be destroyed for upsetting the balance of nature, and the Emerald Enclave knows that many dragons supporting the cult will die before the end. However, we should avoid killing if we can. And at this, Ramalia, who is sitting next to Lord Neverember, you hear her yell out, sort of like, "Tell that to my husband, good Lord Winterhound." And you see...
Someone snoring?
I don't know.
Did somebody at this council table fall asleep?
Sorry, that's my pregnant girlfriend.
Oh, no
trying to
problem.
say
okay.
okay. Sorry, guys. I was wondering. I was like, she's laying. Obviously I can hear it, and I was like, I wonder how long it's gonna take.
I'm picturing like the dwarf. He hasn't spoken yet. Just...
I don't have the hat to
No,
to
don't
stop
do
her.
it. Don't do it.
Sorry. I know.
I snore louder than that, trust me. So Ramalia, so Lord Winterhound, he just kind of like nods, bows his head a little bit in the direction of Haventree, and then he sits down. And you see Remy, Haventree, she just kind of breathes a little bit. She says, "The Harpers have only recently reformed, and not all Harpers are yet committed. I will wait and see what the others say." And then across the way, the dwarf stands, and he says, "A strong axe and firm hand to wield it are all that's needed for the dwarves to defeat this threat. There's nothing more to say." And he sits down very loudly. And then Neverember at the head of the table, he looks around and he says, "Thank you all for speaking your mind. I would now ask that our guests please speak. We have heard of your exploits, but we are most interested in hearing of your rendition of the events after that unfortunate uproar. I would ask that you try again and start at the beginning." So I will throw it out there. We don't have to roleplay everything that you say, but what do you tell the council?
Definitely about them hiring different mercenary companies when we were where was that? Yeah, just outside of Greenest.
Mhm.
And tell them about the different locations in the mirror and in the cabin, and that in the castle about all the different types of cultists, how some are true believers while others just regular people that had nothing else, and the cult offered them things so that they know this isn't just all fanatics. This could be anyone who's desperate enough that needs
They
things.
recruit from
Or
desperate
enslave.
people
Yeah.
and manipulate young and weak-minded and those looking. And we'd I'll show. Share. I don't know why he's just turned into that guy, that bartender, because I think I really like talking like that guy. He should also share that the Red Wizards of Thay were not like 100%. Like I remember the dude that I didn't want Vidania to shoot through the neck did mention that like there was some doubts amongst like some of them.
It's a faction of the Red Wizards. It's not all of them.
Okay.
All right.
And when you mention that, Melindrock, the leader of the elves, he kind of stiffens up a little bit when you say it, and he kind of presses you for a little bit more. He said, What more of the Red Wizards? I will remain at this council for now. I would like to learn more about the involvement of those Red Wizards."
It seems as though a faction of the Red Wizards are not happy with the new leadership or the direction. These ones want Tiamat to be risen so that they can reclaim their lands and enslave those that stand against them. They believe helping with the raising of Tiamat, she will give them an army so that they can take back their lands.
What do you mention about the dragon? About Lenathon? The blue dragon that you came across in Greenest.
Do we want to tell them that they seem to be coercing dragons by taking their eggs?
Did they coerce the white one?
We don't. Yeah, remember we destroyed the egg?
Yeah, but it
Oh,
abandoned
maybe
it.
not.
Could've
I'm
taken
not
it.
sure. Well, we know.
We don't know that as a fact.
About Lenathon, it seems as though, even though she's working with the cult, it seems she may have her own agenda, but that could make her even more dangerous as we don't know her motivations.
Do you
For
mention
the white dragon, it seemed more committed.
Do you mention the eggs to them specifically?
What, the Lenathon wants dragon eggs?
Well,
I don't
anything
think
about
we
the
can.
eggs, anything at all. Do you mention the eggs?
I don't see why not.
Do you mention that you made a deal with her to get the
I
eggs?
made no such
Probably
deal.
not.
So you're not going to mention that part?
No.
Okay.
No, I just mentioned probably that it seems that they might be taking dragon eggs to coerce dragons into helping them.
When you say that,
Possibly.
they will press you all for more details. So Lady Silverhand is like, and what leads you to believe this? A very specific thing.
From the mouth of the dragon, the blue dragon itself.
Did you come across any eggs?
Aye, there were eggs in the... Go ahead, lad.
In the flying castle of the ice dragon, we did. We destroyed them.
You destroyed them, and you see Lady Silverhand. She looks at Lord Neverember, and you see Ramalia. She just kind of looks a little bit like, you all did not think to perhaps keep them. We could have used them for a ransom. And Neverember looks and is like, a ransom? That seems quite dangerous. And Braun Anvil looks very pleased that the eggs were destroyed. It's like, a ransom? What do you mean?
Victory at the moment was not assured, my lords and ladies. It seemed best to take a possible weapon out of the enemy's hands if possible.
Sorry, there's a lot of people.
Abaddon's gonna speak up and just say, from what we've heard, dragons, these chromatic dragons aren't to be trusted anyway. So even having an egg, it doesn't mean anything. And then, cake.
She just says it around a mouthful of chocolate cake.
Braun Anvil is like, dragons are never to be trusted. And Haven Tree, she nods and she says, while I agree with that in theory, Lord Braun Anvil, dragons are intelligent, and perhaps had we kept the eggs, we would have been able to use them for our own leverage against them. It does not seem as though all of them are interested in working to bring back Tiamat from the Nine Hells. And they kind of like go back.
Which lady said that?
This is the leader of the Harpers.
Oh, okay. We're like, yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Nigel goes, shh, you started doing good. Keep it up. Don't talk out of turn like that.
You get a sticker. Eric will put his hand up again, trying to be respectful and have this mention again. Again, my lady, it was a snap decision in the moment. Victory was not assured. If we were to fall at the moment, that would have put more possible dragons in the hands of the cult themselves, and we would be in a possible worse situation. We did what we thought was right at the time.
You see her, she kind of looks over at Zan and she says, well, perhaps we will discuss a little bit more about snap decisions in the future.
Oh, we got Zan in trouble with his boss.
So
You're fired.
I think
10
after,
lashes.
I think after a tattoo, you're not allowed to get fired. So let's
They
see.
cut it off like the Hells Angels.
Get the blowtorch.
Anything else that you all share? There was quite a bit, so I know you shared about the mercenaries, the mirror, the cabin.
The mask, that's probably the most important thing we got.
Oh yes, the mask. Do you share that you have the mask?
They should know, right?
They should, but are you going to give them the mask?
Well, I didn't say I was gonna give it to him.
So when the mask comes up, you see everybody is looking, and Lord Neverember says very, very straightforwardly, please present the mask to the council.
Now I turn to Abaddon and I go, now. It's your time to shine.
Wipes a little cake off of it.
And you actually see Ramalia stands up next to Lord Neverember as you all are kind of like figuring out what you're about to do.
Is Abaddon gonna give the
The mask is in the bag of holding.
Yeah. I'm just looking around. I think.
So.
Okay. Alright. I'll just like rustle in the bag. Okay. I'm gonna reach in the bag. I'm gonna rustle in the bag. I'm like, what? Can I find it? Maybe it's... And then I'm gonna like look at Zan. Like, we're doing this?
The burning you feel in the back of your head is Erdnot's eyes.
I think there's just burning in general as everybody is staring at Abaddon again. Like,
you got cake or... Okay. Well, pull it out.
He immediately takes it from her once it's out of the bag.
Okay.
Erdnot's is holding it and presenting it up like this.
And Neverember just kind of gestures for you to come up to him. So as you bring it around, everybody's just looking, and he says, "Please place it on the table. We will discuss amongst ourselves the next steps with this relic. What do you know of it?"
Not much, I don't think. I mean, honestly, I don't remember anything about it.
All we know for sure is the 5 masks are needed in the ritual to raise Tiamat. We have the black one, but there is still a red, green, white, blue, and black. All 5 are needed. We only have this one, but we do have the names of the others who are holding on to it. And Zan will give all the names. It was... Niravane has the green mask, Galvin has the blue, Severin, the leader, has the red mask, and Varium has the white.
When you say the names, you see, as you say the name Narenvain, King Melandrak looks over, and he looks a little bit concerned, and you see some people kind of like look over at him too. But nobody says anything at this moment. And Neverember nods in thanks, and he says, Council, let's move on to other matters. I believe Lady Haventree had news to discuss. Remy? And he looks at her. She stands up and she says, I do. I am familiar with Varam the White. Harper agents have discovered that Varam the White Worm Speaker has apparently lost the mask and is looking for it. If we could find it first... Then she hands out a note. You see her pull this note out, and it makes its way around the table, and then eventually to you. And I think I can show this to you. Can I show this to you? Show it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you see this field report that's been decoded for you, and it reads, Hail and well met form, because I can't spell, the Serpent Hills. Contact in Boriskir Bridge saw dwarf matching description of worm speaker Varam the White. Story confused, but contact said dwarf defended townsfolk from hooded. Why can't I don't know why all this is so bad. Hooded
Why you need to
stranger.
stop going to bed at 2 in the morning.
Locals call. I did this months ago. Locals call Varam a hero. Varam last seen leading party into Serpent Hills. Made no secret was seeking sight of ancient magic. Will stay in Boriskir awaiting instruction. So, Haventree, she looks... I would also like to discuss a new threat. Oh, no, wait, sorry. That's not her. Hornblade says this. The man with the white beard, as this is making the way around, he stands up. I would also like to discuss a new threat. Everyone felt the effects of a great disturbance, birds, beasts, elves, and men alike. And Conrad, the Bron Anvil, the dwarf, says, and dwarves. And the Hornblade looks at him for a second. Indeed. I believe this needs investigating. I've heard rumor that this was the sounding of the Drakhorn. And Bron Anvil again across the table. Old wives' tale. Hornblade just kind of shakes his head. And he says, as I stated, I believe this was the sounding of the Drakhorn, which we are all familiar with here in this council. Do with that what you will. And he sits.
Ernot stands up. With all due respect, we are not familiar with this Drakhorn. Could you explain, Lord?
You see Ramalia stands up and she says, I will inform our champions of Greenest as to the information we have on the Drakhorn. Whether or not it is an old wives' tale, we will get to the bottom of it. She sits again, and Lord Neverember stands and says, Council, we need firm action, and we must move on the information that has been revealed at this meeting. It has been made even more obvious to me that our guests have proven they are capable and up to the task. And he turns to your group. He says, please allow us a few moments to discuss. We will call you in momentarily. And he gestures to the door. And as you shuffle out and open the door, a guard leads you to an antechamber that's furnished with comfortable couches and small tables. And you can't hear the council, but you can hear all the hustle and bustle that's going on outside of the room with all of the nobles and whatnot who are still out there. And you have a few minutes to...
If these nobles aren't part of the council, do we know... who are they? Are they just have like a constant party in this castle?
No, there. So these might be the leaders, but nobles are nobles. There are a bunch of different nobles all around. They're all
So
like,
it's their entourages.
not necessarily, just other people from the various cities that have come.
Okay. Erdnot turns to Abaddon. You need to learn some manners and accord at formal settings. By the gods.
Everyone's gonna be like, we're here. Did you not hear them all yelling at each other? I could have thrown cake on the ground or eaten all the cake. You
That's
wouldn't have
politics. That's how things get done.
Well, they get done with treats too.
Send you to boarding school.
So
You're not her dad. Okay.
Oh, and could be her great grandfather. Children. Throwing his hands up. Turns his back. Children.
So after a few minutes, the guards call you back into the council, and lead you back into the room, and you can see everybody is sitting at their spots again, and everyone's fairly calm. You can see different people have kind of, different demeanors and looks on their faces. But as you sit down back in this room, which I'll pull you back into after pulling you back in.
I like how you changed the screen just so I could yell at Abaddon.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't sure how much you wanted to go into it.
Aw, it's just like old times.
Oh, I forgot. I was doing so much talking. I forgot to say, like, we have a giveaway going on tonight that I'll have to do at the end.
It's been intense.
I know.
Been a
This
lot.
is intense RP.
Big room of ruffs.
We only have one person who's entered, so I think so. If you type hashtag BEADND to enter tonight's giveaway, it is a shirt. This dog. This dog's killing me. I'm sure it's killing her, whatever's in her ear. So you.
I'm gonna be right back because I got
like
a piece so goddamn bad. So I was like hoping that we were gonna take a break at one point, and then I was like, nope, we'll just power through.
Oh no!
No breaks,
Just
it's
please,
politics.
always, guys, just remind me.
I know, but I was like so into it that I was like, nope, I'm gonna hang in there. I'm gonna hang in there.
All right, I'm gonna
Now
let the
I'm
dog
like,
out real quick while we do that.
This is getting like desperate.
Hashtag BEADND to enter into tonight's giveaway. It is another T-shirt of your choosing. I'll be right back.
So, are we taking a quick break?
I think so.
Yeah.
Pete, if you got him. So
I'll host a cake conversation.
the cake conversation.
So who's sticking around?
I'm here. I ain't going to take a break.
All right. Tell me
Oh.
about your favorite kind of cake.
You know, I'm actually not a big cake fan.
I can't eat
You
cake
don't
because it has gluten. It's the devil.
think of a different way to do it. Gluten-free cake. There's got to be a way. Okay, give me your dessert. Give me your number one dessert.
Cheesecake?
Faster.
I'm not a big dessert person, so I'm like, cheesecake? Boston cream pie? Ooh,
Ooh,
flan.
chocolate
That's a good
cream
one.
pie.
Yeah,
There we go.
yeah.
Peg, you had something on your mind. Go.
Chocolate
Quick.
cream pie.
Chocolate cream pie. Fun. Chocolate cream
With
pie.
gluten-free crust.
Fuck yeah.
We'll have to come up with some. There's got to be more gluten-free. I'm gonna look for a gluten-free cake, and then I'll hire my cake-making friend to make you a gluten-free
There you
cake,
go.
because she's got to be able to do it. She worked at I don't know if she still does. I think like this kosher bakery, so she had to like learn how to like cook things that like weren't that were kosher, and like couldn't use anything that wasn't blessed by a rabbi and stuff. You know what? I think it might have been a gluten-free bakery too. I don't remember.
All right. Do you want me to
Yeah.
do the giveaway while we wait?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's do it.
All right. Let's do the giveaway while we wait. Hold on, I gotta do my little screen. Hashtag BEADND to enter into the giveaway. Let me do my thing.
Hands have to go and pee.
Who are you talking to?
I hope that's.
Roy.
Is that live?
Oh.
That's what.
Oh, that was Graham. I'm like,
Yeah.
are you talking to Pat? Or are you talking to...
I thought so too.
Okay, so our giveaway, we've got 2 people. There's only 2. I'm closing it though. It's a 50-50 shot between Macarena Taco and Roll to 1. So, all right, here we go. You know what?
Both great options.
Macarena Taco, you have won. You know what? We're just gonna give you both. We're gonna make you
I
both
was
winners.
just gonna say, just both win.
Yeah. You know what? Roll to 1, you won 2. Both of you have won a t-shirt. We can give up the one from Tuesday and just have it be so that I'm not, making them give it. We'll just do it the one from Tuesday and have it be. Thank you both for entering. Is Pat back yet? Let's see.
I'm back.
There you are.
Tell us your favorite desserts when you have a minute.
Yay! Half shirts. Like a tank top? Yes, you can. We'll cut it in half and send you each. The top or bottom. You get to choose.
Ooh.
It's versatile.
So just DM me your addresses. Macarena Taco, I don't know if you're still there. It is getting late. I'm almost done. I swear to God, I'm almost done. I only have a couple of more things to say. And then...
Go and keep it going.
I could play for hours more.
Yeah,
so.
I think we might lose half our people in the next 15 minutes. So I'm going to speed up. So you guys are in the chamber. You walk in, and Lord Neverember stands, and he says, "Champions of Greenest, this council would like to deputize you with emergency investigatory powers and a writ detailing as much.
Shit.
These powers
I didn't say that. It's just me.
will grant you access to resources that you deem necessary to perform your duties, but would carry with it the burden of oversight. Abuse of your powers could result in actions taken by this council, including revocation. What say you? Will you act on behalf of the Council of Waterdeep? To investigate the cult further? To do what you can to defeat it before it grows any stronger? Will you heroes do all that you can to stop the rise of Tiamat, an event that could signify the destruction of the Sword Coast and beyond, as we know it?"
Erdnot stands up. He goes, "Lords, ladies, it's a yes from me. I am committed to this." I turn and look at Lord Bron Anvil. I say, I'm saying this to all of them, but looking at him and saying, "Moradin, the Soul Forger himself, has tasked me with stopping the rise of Tiamat. I will do all in my power and give everything I have, including my life, to performing this task. You have my hammer."
When you stand up, Lord Conrad Ron Anvil stands up as well, and he says, "Brother, Erdnot Brewbottle of Udoros the Judicious, son of Udoror, the founder, chieftain of Clan Brewbottle of the Tejarn Hills, the Avenger. I've heard of you and of your quest. I understand what drives you, friend, and I commend that. Your warhammer is needed in a greater fight for glory of dwarves across the Sword Coast. Do this, and the number of allies in your quest for vengeance for the Brewbottle clan will grow." And he
does a fist bow and he goes, "Appreciated, my lord."
Arik will stand and he'll bow to the council as well. And he'll say, "I thank you, my lords and ladies. I have died already once in our travels against the cult. I have seen the Red Knight herself and Tyr, the god of judgment. They have shown me things. They have shown me that if we do not all fight as one, then we will all fall as one. I will do what I can, as I can. And if it requires my life again, that is what I'll do. I'll just bow and sit back down.
Does everybody agree?
Everyone else just says, "Yep."
I know.
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
else is thumbs up. Everyone's like,
Yes.
Zan-
Thank you.
Xander just stands and gives a nod.
Kaya salutes.
Well, what if we mess up? What if we fail? You can be mad at us.
Zen will look over at Abaddon and say, "If we fail, we die."
And Lord Neverember just kind of nods. Like, failure may happen. And if it does, then the gods have mercy on us. As Tiamat surely will not.
But you guys are still like us, right? Because we tried.
Wait, who are you talking to?
The dwarf.
The dwarf specifically, you're looking at Bronno. He's just kind of looking at you. He's like,
Yeah, didn't he just said that, right?
no. Lord Neverember said that to you
Oh, okay,
on the other
sorry.
end of the room. Yeah.
I'll just be staring at him. That's who I was talking about.
Then he just kind of looks at you, like a little bit of a smirk on his face, and he says, if you fail, our disapproval will be the least of your worries, young tiefling. So he then turns to Remy, who's sitting next to him, and says, Lady Haventree, if you would please dispatch your agents. And Haventree said, of course. And Neverember looks back to you all, and he says, and so I ask of our heroes, Varum or Drakhorn? If we can catch Varum alive, so much the better. And then next to him, Laryl Silverhand. She says, please, if you can capture him alive, Waterdeep is rife with spies. And she looks like directly to her right at Lord Istaval, and you can see a couple of other people who kind of like look at him too, and then Onthar is giving them dirty looks for looking at Istaval. And Silverhand says, and his help in identifying them would be most beneficial. And Conrad Bronanvil says, and if you find him, bring back his head. No dwarf who has joined forces with the cult should be allowed to see another day. And Neverember is like, please, return to your cities and discuss with those necessaries, talking to the council members. Organize your defensive and rally your resources. At our next meeting, please come with your updated plans and contributions. And heroes.
One thing, my lords, if I may add, if anyone is able to capture a cultist alive, be prepared. They all carry a suicide pill. They keep it under their tongue at all times. You will need to either remove the pill or give them an antidote so that they cannot escape questioning.
Bron Anvil, you see him, he goes, so much the better.
Do you find it
Oh, thank you so much
question,
for the bits. Table Turp again.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks so much. Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Did we tell them that we gave those two prisoners from the castle over to the Flaming Fist in Baldur's Gate?
Oh, shit.
Are they aware of that?
There's so much shit.
Because they have 2 cultist members already. I don't know if did we mention that at all?
You did not, but you could have if you wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason I had thought that they knew that already, like it was
Like
maybe
they
in the
should have,
letter.
I'm assuming.
Well, I don't know when Zan sent his letter. That's why I didn't bring it up, and I thought that if he had known that he had, you know what I mean. I figured that this guy, the marshal, would have known that. That's why I didn't mention it earlier. I don't know if Zan's letter had that in it. I can't remember when he sent that.
Yeah, he sent it when you guys were still on Skyreach Castle. You hadn't
We
landed
kind
yet.
of delivered them to someone, didn't we?
Yeah, we
just
delivered
gave them
them
to,
to
like-
the
You
guards.
gave them straight to
Yeah.
the Flaming
Specifically.
Fist, yeah.
So then, yeah, Arik would have mentioned that to when we were talking all before to the marshal there when he was saying his piece.
Yeah, so in that case,
Just would have mentioned that they had to.
he would be aware of that, but those low-level people are not of much help. Whereas they're
Oh.
asking you about going to get a worm speaker.
Mm-hmm. No, I just would have mentioned it before, which is something that I didn't realize that he didn't know.
Oh yeah, he
Whatever it
knows.
was.
So
At the time.
so at this
Okay.
point, it's
Okay.
been about, I think it's been almost 2.5 weeks, something like that, or 2 weeks since you guys got to Baldur's Gate. So yes, the marshal knows about the two cultists that you guys have, but they weren't able to get anything of true value from them.
Gotcha.
Since you're mentioning the poison, do you give them the poison? You're mentioning antidote, but
Oh, do we?
you have one.
We took their pills.
You took
from-
one of their
Yeah.
pills, yeah.
Who was hanging on to that? I can't even remember. Was it you, Zan?
I don't think it was me. I think we might have put it in the bag of holding. I'll have to check my equipment because I know I have the antidotes. I don't think I.
You have the antidote?
No,
Who gave you the antidote?
I have the antitoxin.
Oh, the antitoxin.
I-
Gotcha.
Yeah, the ones that I bought from the thing.
Okay. So are you gonna give them the poison? I guess that's the question. As you mention
We
it,
have
do you
no
give...
need for
Zan.
it.
Yeah, Zan's fine with giving them the suicide
Sure.
pill.
Okay. So you give them the poison.
It's not a Tic Tac.
Don't eat it. Okay. All right. So, Neverember says, "Heroes, we would like to further extend to you the use of the Griffin Cavalry of Waterdeep for your transportation needs. You can please see Amar Shuzrelzu." I should have practiced this name. Aumar Shuzrelzu, Cliffwatcher, at the Griffin stables and present the writ for access. So they give you
Just rolls off
yeah,
off the fucking tongue,
Aumar
doesn't it?
Shuzrelzu.
Shizo.
Shuzrelzu.
Gesundheit.
So which way are you going? Are you gonna go to the Drakhorn?
No one's explained the Drakhorn to us still.
No, not yet. But are you going to go for the Drakhorn, which is the sound that or that Tarn? So Tarn Hornblade believes that it was the sound that you heard and the cause of Vidania's pain, or are you going to go for Varum, the White Worm Speaker in Oriskir?
Like, can we huddle up as a group before we answer them?
They are looking at you expectantly in the council. You can, definitely. Like, you can have a moment, but it's got to be in this
A
hall.
moment, lords and ladies. And we just huddle up real quick.
Yeah.
I think
Arik's
we go
gonna
for the
vote.
word speaker.
Agreed.
What about Vidania?
Yeah, Vidania looks and she's like, I would really love to find out if that horn is something to do with, my
No offense, but the horn could be a wild goose chase. The worm speaker we know exists. We know where we can find him. We know he'll be a valuable asset to attain.
And we might have a person on the inside. Remember, we know Talus. That was her name, right?
At the lodge.
Yeah.
In a wild goose chase, she has a very, very specific connection to the cult.
We also do not want Vidania to all of a sudden, in the middle of us trying to get somewhere, fall down in pain and draw attention to us like she did in the street. Especially if we're going to be trying to take him alive, we're going to have to sneak in. We might want to consider taking care of what is ailing Vidania, or at any time she could be rendered useless, paralyzed in pain.
If we wait too long, we could lose the worm speaker. We must act
If we
on
wait
that
too
now.
long, we could lose Vidania. It's the same
That's
as
only-
somebody else dying.
Vidania will be fine.
That's only happened here once. But we might only have
Twice.
one.
It happened in the Mere as well.
And yet she
Yes.
lives. We can take
Hmm.
care of the Dracehorn after. They're all looking at us.
Just tell
I
them we're
think
gonna need a
we should-
couple minutes.
I
Alaric's
think we
gonna
should.
throw his hands up and just go sit down by him, like back in his chair. He's
What
just
do
there
you
to kill
think,
things.
Micaiah?
I think we should help Vidania first. You go for the Dracoon.
That's my vote.
Well, this is not a democracy.
Well, it's not a dictatorship either.
Oh, shit.
And if it was, you certainly wouldn't be the leader. We help our own before we do anything else, and that's that.
Alaric's just gonna look over towards the Neverember as he's sitting by himself.
Okay.
He knows which way this is gonna go, and he'll just say, "What can you tell us more about this Dracehorn, my lord?"
So he looks at Remy sitting next to him, and she says, I can inform you more about the Dracehorn.
It seems we will take care of the Dracehorn first. We would like
Oh,
to know
yeah.
more about it.
we need to hear more about that, but that's not the decision, is it? We leave someone in pain?
So
Dracehorn is
Zan's on the side of helping
Oh,
Vidania.
sorry.
So Remy looks at Lord Neverember
I
and
messed
she
that up.
says, Lord, if I may perhaps speak with the heroes of Greenest and inform them more about the information we have, so they may make a better decision. And he nods, and she stands up again and she says, and if I may, I have one more item. And she pulls a rolled parchment from a deep pocket in her robes. And she says, my late husband left an estate to me in his will. I have no use for it during this time, and I believe it would serve you, and by extension, the citizens of the Sword Coast much more. Please accept this deed for Narrow Creek Manor at my behest. And then she steps forward and she extends the parchment out. Actually, Arik, you're the closest one. Trogdor.
She just gave us a fucking house.
And
Quiet, Argnott.
she
Arik
says,
will take it with a deep bow.
she says, please
Is there
use
a
it
jacuzzi?
while you are in Waterdeep for a place to rest, to recuperate, to train, to plan.
Oh.
Did you say no?
I know Annie is sneezing and she's on mute, but you look like you're fucking dying. Like every single time, because it's the sound's not coming out. You're like.
So Arik will take it with a deep bow, and he'll say, "You're most gracious, my lady. We will do our absolute best to serve the people of the Sword Coast as best as we can."
She turns to the council and she says, I will walk with them to Narrow Creek Manor and explain the information that we know. And Never Ember nods and he says, please, council members, if you would, we will reconvene. We'll communicate when that will be. And the council begins, they all begin to exit. They're like nod to each other and whatnot. And then as the council is exiting the chamber, you all are going to be last to leave. So they're leaving the chamber, and you see a tall figure appears in the doorway, those double doors, dressed in a black hooded cloak with these silver patterned embroidery all along it. It's a light-skinned, young-looking human woman, about 6 feet tall or so, with long silvery gray hair and matching eyes. And as they're all leaving, they stop as this person appears in the doorway. And you hear very softly, Lord Neverember, a word. And Neverember, who was going to be one of the last before you to leave, he just kind of nods, and the rest of the council look to him, and then everyone begins to shuffle out, and you leave, and as the door closes, you see the figure just still standing on the opposite side of the table, looking at Neverember, and the doors are closed behind. And Remy Haventree moves to bring you to your new keep, and that is where we will stop tonight's session, because it is late.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going.
And I don't want people
We just got a house. We got fucking access to Griffin Riders. We just got the key to the city. We got fucking. We just like walked out of this with loot. We didn't have to kill any motherfuckers. Cake.
Oh yeah, that's right. Leosin promised us payment from when we left El Terrell.
Roll to 1, I'll allow it.
Little man, put that shit in my hand. The money doesn't show.
When I reach 14k credits, can I mention the next nat towards me?
So,
oh, Jesus.
Thank you to everybody who hung out with us tonight. Thank you so much for the cheers, Table Troop, and the compound. You guys all have two 1d4 inspirations, so I'm gonna add that, and then also I think it was
I already my reroll.
Yes, Micaiah, Zan, and Arik still have your rerolls. Avedon and Erdnot fought each other and used theirs, so those are gone, but it was worth it. The council will remember this. That's what it says up at the top of the screen. New followers, we have a Dagda71. Thank you for the follow. And raids tonight, we had the compound. Thank you so much for the raid. We appreciate you. And we'll see. Next week should be very interesting as you learn more about your second option, and then you can make a decision of which way you're going to go. But tonight, we are going to raid... Who do I want to raid? How about we raid Open for Adventure? That's a new one.
Sounds like they're open for some raiding.
Yeah, Open for Adventure. Roll to 1 really wants you to roll a 20, Arik Fire. So.
Thanks. That's when we can turn it into a 1. But then what happens if I use? But what happens if that happens and then I use a reroll? That's what I'm just gonna save that. That's what I'm gonna save that for.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like in Magic when somebody's like, nope, you're not gonna do that. I'm gonna throw down a counter spell, and then that person is like, fuck you, counter spell on that. And exactly, it's just you can just throw it on.
It's gonna be a rolling counter spell. Yeah. So we are rating Open for Adventure. Congrats to Macarena. What was it? Taco and Roll to 1 for winning. I will message Macarena Taco and make sure that I get their address. And if you go to beadnd.com, you can choose a design, and then a short sleeved or long sleeved, and then obviously I need a size and address to give to them, and they will send it directly to you. So, if you do it on a death save, you're a Pinor. Oh, rolled a 1.
And remember to check out our TeePublic. Things are on sale for the next 24 hours. And again, we just added another tier to the another tier to the Patreon, and you can support us that way. Go check it out.
So raid these mothers. Make sure you give them our raid emotes, and we'll see you on Tuesday. We'll see you on Tuesday. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Hey, thanks for watching.
We've got like 5
I was so glad
more.
that I made a cheat sheet for my notes because